Hello. So I am sitting in Kimberley and behind me is the big hole. And to be very honest with you, I've never been here, and it's quite a privilege to be able to see places that not many will ever see in their lifetimes, and to be able to come to such historic, monumental pieces of land that hold many memories, and just, the forefathers that walked this land before us, and what happened and how it came about, and the development of these places, I do believe is quite a gift. And I guess I'm sharing with you all and enjoying every moment in all the places and spaces that I have the opportunity to be able to sit in and experience. So here I am sitting in front of the big hole. I don't even think you guys can see it behind me, but it's quite something. And I'm coming on here to it makes me feel so uncomfortable, but I have to. I want you guys to grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, a Coca-Cola, a beverage of some sort, because this episode I am going to be voicing my opinion on many things. And I want you to I want you to sit, and I want you to get involved. Just feel it with me, because I believe that it needs to be said. There's just a couple of things that I really just need to get off of my chest, because I'm just going to go straight into it. All right, so let's just begin this rant. We're going to call it a rant and a rave, because I've got much to say. So the first thing is just being able to have self-awareness, because my goodness, people, have you not realized that there are other individuals that are also just walking around you or driving around you? Some people, I've just noticed, are constantly in their own world, and it's as though they've got no recognition of life around them. I have experienced different situations in different places, and I'm sure you are going to relate to much of this. Right, people that drive, okay, you're on a single road, right? And you've got some person who is just driving almost underneath your car, because they feel the urge to make you feel so uncomfortable because they are in a hurry, and they've got no consideration for the fact that you are driving the speed limit, or you're going a little bit above the speed limit, but they feel the necessity to make you feel so uncomfortable and drive right behind you. Then they proceed to overtake you very dangerously, to literally land up sitting right in front of you at the next red robot. That for me is mind-boggling. The fact that people have no consideration for others on the road is just atrocious. I find it to be so selfish, so self-centered, no consideration for the fact that there is actually other people on the road, no consideration for the safety of other drivers that are on the road, and also then just the fact that you actually haven't proceeded that much further on your journey. It's actually quite humorous, in my opinion, to find that you land up sitting together at a point on the road regardless. So I've been doing a lot of driving, and I've just noticed how people are driving. So that's the one extreme. Then you've got the other extreme, and you've got these drivers who I feel have smoked a J, and they are chilling, and they are just in their own little bubble, have no concern in the world that they're on a road, and that there are actually cars moving because they are moving at a snail pace. That for me is also mind-boggling. Then you find that when you just observe these drivers, you can clearly see that they are just obliviously in their own dimension, and they just have absolutely no care in the world for anyone else but themselves. I'm finding that this world has an extreme amount of selfish people. And then I'm going to get to the point now. I was at breakfast this morning at the hotel, and there's a narrow pathway between the tables to get to the buffet area and to the seating area. Okay, there's only enough space for you to walk at a single human in that pathway. And I'm coming from the buffet area, and this gentleman, okay, no, we're not even going to call him a gentleman, because he doesn't even deserve that title. This guy, he has absolutely no concern that I am a woman, and he decides, you know what, actually I need to go first, so I'm gonna walk first and you must wait for me, then you can come down. And I'm finding that some men, don't get me wrong here, I'm not saying all men, because there are some men that are gentlemen. There are some guys, because we don't call them gentlemen, they don't deserve the title of being a man, because they're these little boys that actually haven't been raised properly. They haven't been in situations where they treat a woman with respect, first of all, and chivalry is completely out of the door. Mason has been brought up to open the door. He opens the car door for me. He closes the car door for me. He asks me, "Mommy, would you like a snack?" He brings me a snack. I'm raising a gentleman. Now, if you're a parent, please, if you have a boy, could you do the same? Because there are a generation, there's actually multiple generations that live amongst us that don't know what that is. I watched this horrific, I have to say it so many times, video on social media. This guy proceeds on the beach to walk into the ocean and slap his wife in front of everybody. Then he further proceeds to go beat her, beat her in the water in front of a whole beach of people. What is happening to men and women? Because women, you also push buttons. You push and you push and you push and you push and you push until that happens. But we now stem it straight back to childhood trauma. What has hurt you so much? What has made you so angry at another human being that you feel the need to treat them like complete and utter garbage? Because we are living amongst people that have absolutely no regard for another human life. Then I'm going to now get on to the point of, I'm a single mom, okay? And I have to navigate a relationship. We're not even going to call it a relationship, because the communication is non-existent with co-parenting. But to be in such a situation with another human being and a tiny human's in the middle, we're going to just jump straight to the point here. So it is highly difficult. It is so difficult for me to reach my child when he is in the care of the other parent. But as soon as the tables turn and he needs to contact his child when in the care of myself, oh no, all tasks, all stuff that is going on in life must just completely be pushed and paused, because you are the only human on this earth that feels that your time is of importance. There's no consideration. There is no consideration at all for anyone, for anyone's time, for anyone's energy, for anyone's just journeys. there's just this selfishness within the human being that I actually cannot grasp. And if you could please alleviate that question for me and give me the answer as to why humans have turned out to be such selfish, self-absorbed people that have, okay, no, now I'm going to go on another tangent. Okay, you're in corporate, okay, and you're speaking to your team, and all you can do is literally belittle them. I have witnessed, I have heard, I have seen how these directors and CEOs are treating their employees, and then you expect the employee to have respect for you. Jeepers, wake up. The respect has gone out the window. The respect between one another is actually non-existent. There is no respect anymore. And this kind of a message I'm bringing to you, and I find it so apt that I'm sitting by a big hole, because I believe that some people should actually stand up, put on your panties, put on your big boy pants, and get out the hole that you're sitting in. Stop thinking that everything is owed to you. Stop thinking that everyone must treat you like some god or goddess. You do not have the right to walk around here thinking that you are higher than anybody else, because I'm now going to go, and I'm so passionate about this because I've been staying in so many places, and the staff are treated like complete and utter garbage, not only by the owners of the establishments, but worse, by the guests. I've stayed in places where I actually see the people as a human being in front of me, and I consider them as a human being, and I respect them at the same level that I'm at. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you are only cleaning a room. It doesn't matter if you're only serving food. You do not hold any right to treat any other human being like they are filth. Who are you in your right mind to do such things? The receptionist, the concierge at where I am now, last night it was a buffet dinner and there was desserts, and I chose, there were two of them behind the desk, I chose to take them each a chocolate sponge pudding that was in like a little glass of sorts, and 2 little teaspoons, because I bet you can put a bet on it that no guest has ever done that for them. I tip the individuals that I am encountering at these places, because the work that they are doing, they are serving you. They are giving you their energy. They are giving you a high love, joy, energy, and you literally disregard them and you treat them like they don't even exist. That for me is mind blowing. People scream at these workers, and they truly have, again, we'll go to the word respect. Respect is earned, okay? And I've given this statement, which you are very well aware of. What you give is what you get. Mason knows that wholeheartedly. What you give is what you get. So let's just remind you of something. If you're going to continuously give poor energy and disregard for the human and disrespect, and you walk around like you own the earth, newsflash, you will not have respect given back to you. Then you wonder why people, okay, this is an example I'm going to give you. It's something that I experienced in a place where there was an owner, and they were treating their staff extremely poorly. The staff blatantly ignored them, ignored their request, and just they then start to not do what you want them to do, making it more difficult for you to run your establishment. So let's just realize that everything is a mirror reflection, okay? So everything comes straight back at you. So if you believe that you can treat people the way that you are treating people and then not get treated that way in return, you are highly mistaken. You are not going to ever have any respect in this lifetime if you are unable to give that respect. So that is something that I have literally it's been so passionate for me to voice. And I also I go to the gym, okay? And in the dressing room, the change room, there are benches by the lockers, okay? Now understand that we are all sharing the space. Last night, I was at the gym and this woman had the audacity to be sitting on a bench and using an entire bench in front of her to put all of her stuff down. She saw me, and this is not the first time in a gym experience that I've noticed how people literally again have no self-awareness. They've got no awareness of another human being in the midst of the reality that they're in. That you cannot shift your things over slightly to make space for somebody else to put their things down. No. The person must ask you, hello, could you please move your things over because I actually am also here to use this bench. So the fact that you cannot grasp in your mind and have the capacity to realize that there are other people around you, that is a serious, let's call it a deterioration in the human. And I also am flabbergasted at the fact that now I'm also filming and people are walking past seeing that I'm filming, but choose to be louder in their approach as some statement, as some I'm here, look at me. Why? Can you not have consideration to see when somebody is doing something to maybe respectfully think to yourself and use the brain in your head and think, wow, okay, let me just pass by casually and softly and let them continue. No, I'm doing it now in real time. The camera is right here and right behind. They chose to walk past and stop right behind the camera and have a conversation at a volume that was much louder than while they were walking, and did that for a couple of minutes before moving on. That for me in itself is, I'm flabbergasted. I actually have no words for the human that, and don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about every human here. All of you know exactly. You can sit and you can literally clap and be like, oh my word, I've had that experience. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Because reality, there are a bunch of humans roaming the earth that are so self-centered and so egotistical that they have no regard for anything but themselves. And then we're going to go to another point. I get looked at, okay? So I'll walk into a place or I'll sit down at a restaurant, and the obviousness of someone staring at me is also mind-boggling. The fact that you are staring at me, I watch you staring, you continue to stare. What is that? Like, take a photo. Do you want to take a photo? It'll last longer. And I've reached a level where you have no cooking clue who I am, what I've done, where I've been, what I've been put through, and what I am now today. So I'm going to reference this now too as a woman. Men, just understand, it is so uncomfortable for a woman to be looked at. And the fact that you can do it so blatantly is more, it's more of a like, what could possibly be going through your mind to think that she would even consider conversing with you because you're making her feel so uncomfortable? Would it ever occur to a man to maybe understand that a girl is just dressing up to go out and doesn't want to be approached, doesn't want to be flirted with, doesn't want to have remarks made about her in a very cheesy, corny way? Maybe just let her be. Maybe just think to yourself, shame, I can only imagine all of that happens with a girl. Just let her be. Leave her alone. And then, girls, can we maybe stop looking at one another with these eyeballs that scroll and scan another girl and then and think, oh, why is she wearing those pants? Oh God, look at her hips. She shouldn't be wearing such tight things. Oh, she shouldn't have her hair done like that. Who are you? Who are you to have any right to have any judgment on her? You have no cooking clue the shoes that she's walking in. So maybe for a minute, sit and think to yourself, man, she's confident. Man, she's beautiful. Man, I hope that she steps into her goddess mode. Man, I hope she straightens her crown. Man, I hope she has everything she's ever desired in this world. Why can the narrative not shift for us to actually maybe start realizing that every single one of us, every single human being is walking in shoes and walking in mud and walking where the shoe sole has come off and they are stepping on thorns and they are slipping and sliding through water and they are literally going through the most at times. Why is it that the human cannot for one moment sit back and just take that ego that we all embody and maybe take the ego and turn it into something more beautiful? Turn it into something where instead of us having these unkind things to do or say, maybe let's be kinder. Maybe let's move our things out the way. Maybe let's walk past and lower our volume. Maybe let's just be better. And this is something that I've had to sit and do with you all, because I am so sick of walking through this life and observing this. Why? What has it come to, people? What has it actually come to? The amount of judgment that people are carrying is absurd. Where did all of that judgment come from? And even teachers, do you know, I taught children who were bullied by adults. There was a little boy who drew something and colored it in, and it wasn't what other people were doing, what followed the norm. It was actually artistic and creative in its own form. And this teacher had the audacity to laugh in front of an entire class of over 30 children, in front of the child, and almost put him down at the age of 10. What is that? Now you want respect from children? You want children to respect you as an adult? You are very mistaken. They are not going to respect you because they do not look up to you one bit. They despise you. The children nowadays walking around watching this adult behavior are turning out to be those exact adults. And we are the people that are going to be able to shift that dynamic. And I've mentioned this before. Stop judging and saying that children shouldn't be on screens if you are sitting on your phone for half the day. Be the example. Read a book with the child. Maybe take them somewhere outside. Let them feel a tree. Let them put their feet on the grass. Stop wanting them to be different if you aren't even willing to do anything different in your life, or shift something, or be so uncomfortable to be better. So that is something that has literally been in me, and I've needed to just release it, because there are people that need to hear this. There are people that maybe will wake up. Let's pray, let's hope, because we go back to the judgment. Okay, there was a miss today at breakfast, and I saw her last night at dinner as well, and the way she looked at me and scanned me with her eyes as though I was less than her, and maybe my outfit wasn't what she approves of in her reality. But she didn't know that I've been traveling for weeks, and that I'm wearing a tracksuit and I'm comfortable. I still look extremely presentable. I don't have to be dressed up. Understand that you don't have to fit into the mold. You don't have to follow all the sheep. And if somebody chooses not to fit the mold and follow the sheep, support them. Stop looking at them as though they are something that is inadequate to your standards, because the fact that you are judging them makes me realize and observe that your standards cannot be that high if you have judgment on another person, because a person of a high standard doesn't have judgment for anybody. They support one another. And it's something that I've heard, I've watched, is another creator would never put you down because they know what it's like. Another athlete would never belittle you because they know the work that goes into it. An entrepreneur would never judge you because they also understand the sacrifice that it takes. So take a moment, step out of this illusion that you're living in, and actually look at the reality. Look at where the human has come. And I'd also like to just touch on another area with regards to how you are approaching your business, how you are selling a product that you have, or how you are putting yourself out there. If you push to sell, let's use the example, okay, fitness trainer. I'm a fitness trainer, I'm a instructor, and I'm going to make you look immaculate. I'm going to transform your body. I'm going to help you, and I'm going to push you to be the best and the strongest. But you choose to go and eat KFC, and you actually don't work out yourself. You don't even look the part of a fitness instructor, but you're selling that. Look at the reflection and think to yourself, if nothing's working, something must change within. And if you are a doctor and you tell the patients, don't do this, or ensure that you eat an orange and an apple a day, but you advocating this healthy lifestyle, but you aren't even embodying it yourself, how Do you expect to have the respect and the reciprocation for your profession if you are not embodying it yourself? And I also go back to the spiritual world and the individuals that are teachers, that are these peaceful and calm, loving meditation and earth, nature, connect and ground. But then they are super angry and super irritable, but they don't show that side of them to you because they're making you believe that you should only be peaceful and still. Really understand that we've come here to embody every single part. Yes, we've come here to embody ego. Yes, we've come here to embody judgment. Yes, we've come here to embody self-awareness. Yes, we've come here to embody all of the emotions that come with it: rage, anger, emotions of sadness and angst and depression, and acknowledge the fact that every single human goes through all of these things. So take a moment and have some compassion. Have compassion for one another, and start living from a place of understanding, of inner standing, of heart centeredness, of love. Have love for thy neighbor. That is where the human race has just declined, because the love for thy neighbor has completely diminished. We have lost the love for one another. We've become so occupied with status. We've become so occupied with what materialistic things we have. We've become so occupied with what we physically look like that we've lost compassion for one another. We've lost the love and the heart and the why we actually have come to earth and what we are meant to be embodying here. So I'm going to be closing this off now because I feel like I've ranted, and I'm hoping that whatever resonated with you, whatever may have been a light bulb switch that's gone off for you, and maybe you will be able to be the change that the world needs right now. Be the person that you want to see in others. And I'm just, I'm really grateful that I'm able to sit and have such confidence in my own self and have such confidence in my own skin that I can sit and speak the truth, and speak the truth so authentically that there is no room for anyone to have me feel any less than how I feel, because I have stepped into a confidence that I hope one day you will embody yourself too. So I love you all, and thank you for listening. Thank you for cheering. Thank you for agreeing or disagreeing. And it's now 33:33. Mwah.